Okay, we're gonna go over creating our own personal sketchbook. So on your table, you may see this big piece of paper. For those who are not new, this is our painting mats. These are stay in the art room. They're just to protect our table so we don't have to wipe up as often. So don't write your name on this. This is just to wipe your paintbrush or anything off. You're gonna be getting your paper from your paper passer, and you're going to keep it horizontal, side to side. Your supply manager is going to get your tub, and they're going to get the little cup out of it. And these have the crowns that match your table. The reason we use this, so when Miss Lawson pulls it off the drying rack, if you wrote your name with this blue, I know you sit at the blue table. So you'll get you're going to write your name and your teacher's code. Please make sure that you see, Miss Lawson will let you know what your teacher's code is. So please make sure that they all get back in your basket. And if you're the supply manager, please make sure you return that, which is on the cart, back on your cart. Once you've got your name, you're going to flip it over because we don't want to paint over our name. And then we're going to send the supply manager to get our paints. Now, we are using tempera cake paints. They'll be sitting just like this. So please make sure whoever lays the tray down, you pick up your paints off the water and put it on your table because you want to have access to the water, so we don't want to have the paints covering it. So move that over to the side. Move this over to the side. I need to have it so you can see it. So I'm going to try to squish it all in here. And then you're going to have your house. Please remember your house is where the paintbrush goes when you are done and when you start. So if you're in charge, the captain will pass out the brushes, give everybody a brush, and then you're going to lay your house back on the tray. With these tempera paints, we have to do something called waking them up. I mean, if you take your paintbrush on it right now, nothing will come off. They are asleep. Now, just think, if someone splashed water in your face, you would wake up. So what you'll do is you take your brush, you gently just dip it in the water. You don't have to, splash it around anything. Just get a little water in your brush. Pick which color you want to start with. And then you wake it up, which means you just make a circular motion on top of the color. Now, and I'll do it on the matte paper. When I paint, you can see it's woken up. It is awake. So you are going to be painting a design on your white paper. This is going to be the cover of your sketchbook. So you only get one piece of paper. It doesn't have to make anything. It can just be a bunch of paint lines. It could be circles and dots and squares. It could be whatever you want. You do need to make sure that you're holding your paintbrush correctly. We don't want to, ruin Tippy, so make sure that you're holding them and using them correctly. But pick a color. I'll start with red since I'm already there. And make some lines. Need a little more water. Now I'm going to switch colors. So it's very important that I do go to the water. I get all the first color off the paintbrush before I move to my second color. So I'm going to go with orange, wake up the orange. Now I'm just going to do some dashes. Okay, wash that off. Get all the orange. I'm going to go to the darker blue, wake it up. Let's see, maybe I'll do some blue circles. Again, you are creating this design. It does not have to be a picture. I know I'm not expecting you to paint a tree with a house and it be perfect. Just practice painting. Draw some shapes, draw some lines. Okay, I'm done with that color. I'm gonna wash that off. I'm gonna go to the pink or purple pink. I'm gonna add some more lines. I'm gonna draw some skinnier lines, and it's okay if I go over some of these other colors. I'm just kind of painting along. Now I'm going to go to the teal, wake it up. Maybe I'll draw some vertical lines. Please understand, there is no wrong way, there is no right way to do this. You are just kind of creating some kind of cool design with your brush. Now you do need to be careful with the black if you have black. You don't want to use too much because black is a very strong color and it will, you have to make sure it's all the way off your paintbrush before you move to a different color. So I gotta make sure all that black is off. So you are just gonna take this time, you're gonna make your own design. Feel free to use some of the lines Miss Lawson has used, but try to be creative and create your own. Once we have finished with filling in the whole paper, I don't want any white paper. I'm gonna try to fill in all the white space. I mean, I just want to fill up the whole paper. So let me just add a few more designs. Okay, so like I filled up the whole paper. That's what I mean. You don't have to cover all the white. Paintbrush, when you are done, get all that paint off, and then make sure that when you return it to our house, that the hair is on top, just like the hair on top of your head. I see all the hair, 1, 2, 3, 4 hairs. So if you're in charge of collecting the paintbrushes or making sure they're in there, make sure you see all the hair sticking up. Put that back on the tray. If you're in charge of putting the tray back, make sure the paints get back on top of the water, and then carefully walk this back to the back counter. Everybody else, you'll make sure that you don't have to pick up the big paper. Just pick up your paper, and you're going to be walking it back to the drying rack to get it on the drying rack. When you get to the drying rack, pay attention. Please make sure you take your paper and you go from horizontal to vertical. When we put it on the drying rack, we always put our paper vertical so we can get 8 papers on the drying rack. Miss Lawson will be back there helping you, but I hope you have fun painting the cover of your sketchbook.